Hello and welcome to podcast number 10. Now this podcast has been long in the making, and I did actually start talking about some things, and I was going to use them in episode 10, but I can't seem to find that file. So we're starting again, but because I haven't done a podcast in some time, there's a lot that's happened, so I guess the content in here will be just as good, if not better. So, first things first, I decided to create a new video series, as the Formula 1 video series is going to be coming to an end. My predictions, as of today, there will only be 2 more predictions and then one wrap-up video prediction for next year, and depending on how many views I get across the board with these videos, I may choose not to do them. They haven't been very successful. The only part of the whole Formula 1 video series that has been successful was the live stream, which I got smacked on the hand with. So I'm not going to do any live streams while the race is on. So as I was saying, the Formula 1 season for 2016 is coming to an end. Today was the Mexican Grand Prix, and that was quite exciting right towards the end of it. And Nico Rosberg is actually in the lead at the moment, and if he wins Brazil, he will actually become world champion. The thing about Brazil is Lewis Hamilton has never won there. In 2008 he did actually win the title, but he didn't actually win the race. That went to Felipe Massa, so we'll see what happens with Lewis, if he can conquer Brazil. News-wise, there's a new Apple computer being released. I think it's a laptop or MacBook Pro. There's been some good reviews and some negative reviews about it. I haven't watched any of them, or I haven't read any of them. What I did do though was watch a video from Barnacules about the iPad Pro, and I thought it was just ridiculous. So with the iPad Pro, they're trying to target Windows users, or anybody that needs a stylus and the ability to draw, and for the privilege you'll be paying $100 for the stylus alone, which is just a plastic pen, which seems to be the kind of thing Apple does, overprices everything. So on my computer I actually installed the Unity game engine, and I'm planning to make a couple of games and see how that goes. I've never actually used an engine or a game engine to actually create a game, so it's going to be really interesting to see how the framework works. And one of the other things that I did recently was I bought a softbox to make my videos a bit better. Now I got this softbox from eBay for under 20 quid, so I'm not really expecting too much. I've left it in the car, to be fair. I haven't actually opened it yet, but when I do open it, I'm hoping to do a little test I might even create a test video and put it online. So I've gone back to working on site. As you know, I went back when Eco Summit was happening. You've obviously seen the videos from that, and also Insight in Manchester. Recently I uploaded a video for Recruitment Agency Expo, but in Birmingham. There was one previously to that where it was in London, and that is the actual main show in London, but the Birmingham one gets a lot of visitors, and a lot of satisfied visitors, should I say. And then a video that you haven't seen yet is the Booker retail event, and then Fleet Management Live, which was the other week. Both very good shows, both very fun to do. The Booker one was completely different to what all the other shows are set up as. So about a week ago, I finally got to watch Ghostbusters 2016. Oh boy, I don't think I laughed at all through that movie. The only time I actually reacted to anything was when the Ghostbusters from the original set of movies and Sigourney Weaver and Annie Potts did their cameos, and apart from that, it was just terrible. I didn't like any part of it, to be fair. The moment the credits came, the word Ghostbusters came up on the screen, there was no logo to go with it. There was no Ghostbusters theme or any theme, to be fair. I can't quite remember what actually played at the start of the movie. The 2016 version of the library scene was ridiculous. It was like 10 or 15 minutes long, whereas the library scene in the original Ghostbusters movie was like a couple of minutes long, and it did actually scare you, whereas the 2016 version didn't do anything, didn't scare you, didn't create any tension, didn't set up the movie in any particular way. It also seemed like a lot of the cast were just trying too hard to be funny, and instead of being funny, they were just, I don't know the best way to put it, but they were just fucking ridiculous. Everybody was trying to be funny, and it didn't work. You needed somebody to be the straight person. You needed somebody to, not react or react in a certain way. But everybody was trying to climb on top of each other to make you laugh. But the jokes weren't funny. They weren't written funny. Did not like it at all. Visually, it was just, there wasn't enough darkness in it. The picture was so bright and colourful. There was a lot going on in the background, and there weren't any scenes with depth, so it did seem like it was just like some kind of sitcom on TV. What else? The scenes weren't put together properly. It just seemed like there was just a lot of jump cuts. I don't know what you would call jump cuts. seemed like they were chopping and changing the movie. It didn't flow very well. So you'd go from somebody explaining something or doing some kind of character development, and then suddenly breaks into some kind of not so funny joke. So yeah, I didn't like it. It was way too long, and I don't know why there were so many dance numbers in it. I didn't like the fact that they tried to borrow from the old movie and then just completely wreck it. I didn't like that they killed off Bill Murray. And yeah, it was just a mess. It's no wonder that they gave Spider-Man back to Marvel. Well, they are sharing Spider-Man, but yeah, it's just they keep ruining their movies, and I don't know if they're overthinking them or using stupid directors and producers. I saw that Amy Pascal got a producer credit at the start of the movie. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently it's bombed. It's 70 million or so in debt. Yeah, they did a little thing right at the end, like a tribute to Harold Ramis, which is a bit of a piss take because they didn't take on board his vision for the movie. Instead, they went with this really weird abomination, and it's got nothing to do with the Ghostbusters being female. It's more of the fact that they just pissed on the first two movies that came before them, and it seems like that's what they set out to do from day one. And from what the Sony hack says as well, a lot of the emails in the Sony hack actually, you found that Paul, whatever his face is, and Amy Pascal have actually put down on their emails that yes, this is what they want. They want a female-centric Ghostbusters. Anyway, this has been talked about quite a lot across the internet, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but my actual final thoughts of the movie were I'd not recommend it to anyone, to be fair. I'd rather recommend Part 2 or Ghostbusters 2 to people that want to watch a Ghostbusters movie. The villain was weak. The acting was weak. The comedy was very weak. You want to watch a movie that is classed as a comedy and expect to laugh in it. I didn't like the fact that they had to go at people, negative comments on YouTube and forums, and guys who live at home in their mother's basement and stuff like that. I think those digs weren't very good. I think they were taking the piss. Well, obviously they were taking the piss out of fans, but not all the fans live in their mother's basements. It's just ridiculous. That's what Sony thinks about the audience. I hope the studio doesn't make any money from any of the other movies and franchises that they are working on, because it was just ridiculous. And then taking the piss out of your potential customers, it's really bad. It looks unprofessional. So other movie news, I went to watch Doctor Strange, and it was a bit of a strange movie, but it was actually good. It was a good movie. Now, this is something Marvel has started doing very well, they do the standard comic book action movie, but then they do the most non-standard comic book action movie. So if you let me explain, so we have Captain America, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Thor, and those movies. And then we have Avengers, and that's a good movie that includes all of the previous characters. And then they come along with Guardians of the Galaxy. Totally, completely different. Not many people know about the Guardians of the Galaxy, not the casual comic book reader or comic book based cartoon watcher. And they pulled it off. Some unknown characters, and they made a shitload of money with that movie. And then they do it again with Ant-Man, and that was slightly different too, and that was brilliant. So they're taking these two concepts, turn them on their head, and it's worked in their favour. And now they're going to do the same with Doctor Strange. It's not the kind of movie for everyone. Doctor Strange isn't really, I wouldn't really say he's a character that a lot of people read or like. I've liked him when he's come into like Spider-Man the animated series. I've tried to watch the 1978 movie a while back, couldn't get into it, but yeah, it was really good. The mystical side of Marvel has actually come out and it started to work. And there is a but. So the but is with Luke Cage. And the but with Luke Cage is the whole premise of the series was really good. And I tried to watch it all in one day. I didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't engage with Luke Cage. The first few episodes were good, and then I started dropping off to the point where it's taken me 3 weeks now, about 3 weeks to watch 13 episodes, which is really piss poor for me. And I like the premise, I even like the actor, and the whole setup of it was good. The whole thing, the dynamic with Pops was good, but then I don't know, it just lost me somewhere down the line. I never bothered watching Jessica Jones, but I think I'll have to check it out, because I read online that Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones and Iron Fist are going to be in one of the next Avengers movies. So, it's going to be good. So I want to be invested in these characters. I want to be invested in the actors playing those characters. And I'm hoping that Series 2 is going to be a lot better. Okay, so there's quite a few things I've covered there. What I'm looking forward to is my little trip to Liverpool for a show that I'm doing up there. I didn't get to do it last year, but now it's been sold on to another company and they are using our company to carry on with the service that we provide. And I actually like going to Liverpool. It's a nice place, the people are nice, salt of the earth kind of people. I don't know if you can hear that. You're hearing the sound of fireworks in the background, and it's Diwali, so there are people celebrating Diwali, and the fireworks have been going off since like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And my cat is somewhere outside in the garden. He won't come in. I can't find him, and I'm just going to leave him out there. The other thing I'm looking forward to is that I've got a week off work, and it's going to be amazing. And yeah, I'm being forced to go to this DJ Snake concert. It may be good, may not be good. To be honest with you, I'm not being forced to go. I'm just exaggerating a little. It'll be a good experience, I think. Okay, so I started watching Westworld, and I got to episode 2, and I haven't bothered watching the rest. And that's not very good, considering I was looking forward to watching it. And the first episode was pretty okay. It was setting the scene, what everyone's doing, what they're about. But I don't know why I can't get into it. I don't know if it's because there's other things going on in my life, or if it's the series itself. But I'm finding less and less time available to me for watching TV. So I'm doing work on my laptop and watching TV at the same time, and not focusing on the TV program at all. If I do, it's just for one particular scene, but then I'm confused about like what originally happened or what were they talking about. So I think I need to free up some time and see if I can actually watch these programs. But I do have to say, a lot of this TV is getting better than the movies that are coming out at the cinema. So I think Hollywood needs to look at how they are actually doing their movies. I don't like all these reboots. Nobody likes all these reboots. This Ghostbusters reboot was just ridiculous. I can't believe how bad it was. Like, it's an okay movie, it's just okay, but it wasn't even funny. There were people who said that Chris Hemsworth was the best thing about it, but he wasn't. He was playing a complete weirdo. And I don't really want to spoil the movie for anyone, but I don't think he was cast well. He should have turned it down. So my last podcast was a Star Trek 50th anniversary special. So in the UK we have something called Destination Star Trek, and it's a event put on by some really strange company, and it's been going for a couple of years now, maybe 3 years. The first year it happened in London's Excel. My friend Sam went to watch it. Well, not watch it, he went to it, and he thought it was crap because he got to go around and have a look at everything, and it was pretty poor the way it was presented, and all the actors that were signing autographs looked like that they didn't want to be there. When he tried to get Captain Picard, Patrick Stewart's autograph, he didn't even look up at him. He just signed the photograph and then he just left. And that wasn't good. I was kind of hoping this particular event wasn't going to be like that because it's the 50th anniversary, and they were actually building up as, oh, it's the 50th anniversary, this person's going to be here, this person's going to be here, blah blah blah. Anyway, I've got some video of this. I think I will make it available online, so just watch this space. But my wife and I went, we bought Star Trek uniforms. They were from the reboot series, and yeah, it was interesting. We got there was loads of other Trekkies, and you know, the weird thing is, you'd think when you're a Trekkie or a Trekker and you go to a place where there's other Trekkies and Trekkers, that you're going to feel this nice family environment, or like a place where you belong. But because the venue was so shit, they didn't even have carpet on the floor. They had handwritten signs telling you the price and when a certain actor will be back to do the autographs. And that's all it was. It was just a big photo opportunity with a shit replica of the Enterprise D bridge, a shit replica of the original series bridge, and there was like a row of tables where all the actors were seated signing autographs, and it just looked disgusting. And there was like loads of little scattered around stands where they were selling merchandise like t-shirts, photos, books and toys and what have you. But a lot of the t-shirts there were non-Star Trek ones. There were some Star Trek ones, but it was mainly Star Wars, or what was that other one I saw? It was like all gaming graphics, like Minecraft and stuff like that. And I thought, right, okay, maybe in a sci-fi convention that would be fine, but you know, this is Star Trek. This is 50 years worth of Star Trek that needs to be celebrated. And what do you have? A couple of scattered around stands, an autograph line which you're making money from, some talks that you're making money from, some photograph opportunities that you're making money from. There was nothing going on that people could just enjoy. There was a little art gallery kind of thing and the main stage which you could watch, which wasn't too bad. But there was nothing else going on. I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting displays of like uniforms, the actual devices that they use, some other weapons they use, but there wasn't really much of that. There wasn't anything like that at all. Now, back in 1997, I went to the 35-year anniversary, or the 30-year anniversary. What was it, 30 years or 35 years? It was 30 years. And that was held in a museum that was a lot smaller, but they had the actual captain's chair from the original series, and they had the original transporter from I think it was the one from Next Generation, and they had like one of the batliths that Worf used in the original, well, not in the original series, but on TNG. You know, there was a lot of things there to see. Yeah, so I was really disappointed in that. So, I've got a talk next week with my managing director, and I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to tell him about all the negative things that have been happening in the office. He doesn't actually work from the office, this new guy, so he's kind of detached, and he needs filling in because it's getting really bad to the point where people are struggling to do their work, myself included. They're having breakdowns, not myself included, but I have come close to being annoyed with a couple of people. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting week next week. So until next time, please like and subscribe to my videos, and also please look out for my video series on how to film a wedding. And until next time, goodbye.